must your conscience my acquaintance seal, and you must put me in your heart for friend, sith you have heard with a knowing ear, that he which hath your noble father slain pursued my life.
Well, it appears. But tell me why you proceeded not against these feats, so criminal and so capital in nature, as by your safety, greatness, wisdom, all things else, your main labors stood up.
Oh, for two special reasons, which may to you perhaps seem much unensued, but yet to me they're strong. For the queen, his mother, lives almost by his looks, and for myself, my virtue or my plague, be it either which, she is so conjunctive to my life and soul, that as the stars move not but in this sphere, I could not but by her. The other motive, which to a public count I might not go, is the great love the general gender bear him, who dipping all his faults in their affection, would, like the springs that turneth wood to stone, convert his gyves to grace, so that my arrows, too slightly timbered, for so loud a wind, would revert my bow again, and not where I had aimed them.
And so I have a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate terms, whose worth, if praises may go back again, stood challenger on mountain of all the age for her perfections, but my revenge will come.
Break not your sleep for that. You must not think that we are made of stuff so flat and dull that we can let our beard be shook with anger and think it pastime. You shortly shall hear more. I loved your father, and we love ourselves, and that, I hope, will teach you to imagine. How now? What news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet. These to your majesty, this to the queen.
From Hamlet? Who brought them?
Sailors, my lord, they say. I saw them not. They were given me by Claudio. He received them of him that brought them.
Laertes, you shall hear them. High and mighty, you shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall, first asking your pardon thereunto, recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet. What should this mean? Are all the rest come back? Or is it some abuse and no such thing?
Know you the hand?
'Tis Hamlet's character, naked. And in a postscript here, he says, alone. Can you devise me?
I am lost in it, my lord. But let him come. It warms the very sickness in my heart that I shall live and tell him to his teeth. Thus doubts thou.
If it be so, Laertes, and as how should it be so, how otherwise? Will you be ruled by me?
Aye, my lord.
So you will not overrule me to a peace.
To thine own peace. If he be now returned as checking at his voyage, and that he means no more to undertake it, I will work him to an exploit, now ripe in my device, under the which he shall not choose but fail, and for his death no wind of blame shall breathe. But even his mother shall uncharge the practice, and call it accident.
My lord, I will be ruled. The rather if you could devise it so that I might be before him.
It falls right. You have been talked of since your travel much, and that in Hamlet's hearing, for a quality wherein they say you shine, your sum of parts did not pluck such envy from him, as did that one and that, in my regard, of the unworthiest siege.
What part is that, my lord?
A very riband in the cap of youth, yet needful too, for youth no less becomes the light and careless livery that it wears, than settled age his sables and his weeds, importing health and graveness. 2 months since, here was a gentleman of Normandy. I have seen myself and served against the French, and they can, well on horseback, but this gallant had witchcraft in it. He grew unto his seat, and to such wondrous doing brought his horse, as he had been encorpsed and demi-natured, as with the brave beast. So far he topped my thought, that I, in forgery of shapes and tricks, come short of what he did.
A Norman, was it?
A Norman,
Upon my life,
the
lord.
very same.
I know him well. He is the brooch indeed and the gem of all the nation.
He made confessions of you, and gave you such a masterly report, for art and exercise in the defense, and for your rapier most especial, that he cried out, 'twould be a sight indeed if one could match you, the scrimers of their nation. He swore had neither motion, guard, nor eye, if you oppose them. Sir, in this report did Hamlin so envenom with envy that he could nothing do but wish and beg your sudden coming over to play with you. Now, out of this,
What out of this, my lord?
Laertes, was your father dear to you? Or are you like the painting of a sorrow, a face without a heart?
Why ask you this?
Not that I think that you did not love your father, but that I know love is begun by time, and that I see in passages of proof. Time qualifies the spark and fire of it. There lives within every flame of love a kind of wick or snuff that will abate it, and nothing is at a like goodness still. For goodness growing to a pleurisy dies in his own too much. That we should do when we would, for this wood changes, and hath abatements and delays as many, as there are tongues, our hands, our accidents, and then this should is like a spendthrift sigh that hurts by easing. But to the quick and the ulcer, Hamlet comes back. What would you undertake to show yourself indeed your father's son more than in words?
To cut his throat in the church.
No place indeed should murder sanctuarize. Revenge should have no bounds. But good Laertes, will you do this? Keep close within your chamber. Hamlet returned shall know you are come home. Will put on those, shall praise your excellence, and set a double varnish on the fame the Frenchman gave you, bring you in the fine together, and wager on your heads. He being remiss, most generous, and free from all contriving, will not pursue the foils, so that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unabated, and, in a passive practice, requite him for your father.
I will do it, and for that purpose I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank, so mortal that, but dip a knife in it, where it draws blood, no cataplasm so rare, collected from all simples that have virtue, under the moon, can save the thing from death, that is but scratched withal. I'll touch my point with this contegoing, that, if I gale him slightly, it may be death.
Let's think further of this. Weigh what convenience, both of time and means, may fit us to our shape. If this should fail, and that our drift look through our bad performance, 'twere better not essayed. Therefore this project should have a back or second, that might hold if this blast in proof. Soft, let me see. Let's make a solemn wager of your cunnings. I had it. When in motion you are hot and dry, as make your bouts more violent to that end, and that he calls for drink, I'll have prepared him a chalice in the nonce, whereupon by sipping, if he by chase escape the venom stuck, our purpose may hold there. But stay, what noise?
One bow doth tread upon another's heel. So fast they follow. Your sister is drowned, Laertes.
Drowned? Oh, Ophelia!
There's a willow grows askant the brook that shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream, where fantastic gnarls did she make, of crowdflowers, needles, daisies, and long purples. The liberal shepherds give a grosser name, but our cold maids do deed men's fingers call them. There on the pendant bows her crowned weeds, clamoring to hang, an envious silver broke. Went down her weedy trophies and herself fell in the weeping brook, her clothes spread wide, and a mermaid alike while they bore her up. Which time she taunted snatches of old lads, as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and endued unto that element, but long it could not be till that her gnarls, heavy with their drink, hold the poor wrench from Bromeliad's lave to muddy death.
Alas, then she is drowned.
Drowned.
Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears. But yet, it is our trick, nature her customs hold. Let shame say what it will, when these are gone. A woman will be out. Adieu, my lord. I have a speech, O fire the fane would blaze, but that this folly drowns it. Let's follow, Gertrude. How much I had to do to claim his rage. Now fear I this will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow.
Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy.
Hey, what up,
Grab
girl?
my glasses, I'm out the door. I'm gonna hit.
How now? What news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet. These to your majesty, this to the queen. Am I not even in the shot? I'm sorry. I committed too much. One moth. Damn it. Okay, why do I still have this in my mouth?
Let me stop it.
This is why I don't do theater. I'm sorry. One more tread. This is such an awkward entrance. I need to